Hey friends, welcome back to Ancestral Healing. Happy Tuesday. We got another beautiful week ahead of us. Today I'm going to be talking about the latest news. A couple days ago, an article came out finding that scientists find no evidence that depression is caused by chemical imbalance or low serotonin levels. So this is big news because my whole life and most of our whole lives, unless you were born yesterday, we have based scientific studies and the prescription of SSRIs on this notion that depression is caused by a chemical imbalance. So this just in brand new news, that's not the case, and it's quite disappointing. Not surprised. I always kind of had this idea, this feeling in the back of my mind, is depression really caused by a chemical imbalance? So let's get right into it. I'm going to explain the study and then I'm going to give you guys my take on what I really think causes depression, amongst many things. So just to begin, studies have shown that about 80 to 90% of the public believes that depression is caused by low serotonin levels or chemical imbalance in the brain. So what this research shows is that there is no evidence for the link between depression and low serotonin levels or a chemical imbalance. The author of this specific article, which I will link below in the description, says it is always difficult to prove a negative, but I think we can safely say that after a vast amount of research conducted over several decades, there is no convincing evidence that depression is caused by serotonin abnormalities, particularly by lower levels of reduced activity of serotonin. Other evidence suggests that individuals who believe that a low mood is caused by a chemical imbalance could lead them to have a pessimistic outlook on the likelihood of recovery. So this is very true. I've met many people in my life who are suffering from anxiety, and they do have a pessimistic outlook, and they feel like, in a sense, they're born this way. There's nothing I can do about it. It's a chemical imbalance. I have to take SSRIs, which are pretty much serotonin reuptake inhibitors. This chemical imbalance theory was very, very successful at creating a significant increase in the use of antidepressants for treating depression. Prescriptions have risen dramatically since the 1990s. It's the perfect time right now to inform the public that this belief of depression is caused by a chemical imbalance, this belief is not grounded in science. And it's incredibly sad that we've gone this long with believing about the chemical imbalance theory, and people have gone on SSRIs, and we all know the terrible side effects that come along with SSRIs. Thousands of people yearly suffer from side effects when they take antidepressants, including the severe withdrawal effects that people experience when they try to get off of these antidepressants. They can have long-term side effects, effects that don't go away ever or for years, or it's going to take a whole lot of work, and for most people they don't even know where to begin. And yet with all of this, with all of these side effects, all of these negative things happening, prescription rates continue to rise. This reliance on antidepressants to cure depression has been heavily driven by this belief of this chemical imbalance theory. So now where do we go from here? What happens if you're watching this video and you are on antidepressants, or you know someone who is, for depression, and this study comes out? What now? Well, I don't know exactly what to tell you, but I do have something on my mind that I've been thinking about when it comes to depression. Why is our society so depressed? Obviously, this channel is about ancestral healing, so of course, the foods that we eat from the moment that we are born make us sick. They make us depressed. Absolutely. I 100% believe that. But I also believe that depression is a direct cause of our culture. The environment that we live in, which is essentially our culture, does not facilitate meaning, creativity, purpose, or play. As a result, the environment that we grow up in is stressful, And we know, even in this article, that chronic stress can lead to depression. Stressful life events piled up on top of each other can make one feel depressed. So, what do we need to do? We need to enrich our lives to prevent depression. We need to find purpose, we need to find meaning, we need to make time for play, not just as kids, but as grown adults, as senior citizens. Play is so important, having a purpose, having things to look forward to. An enriched life is also one that's going to come with challenges, but instead of feeling fearful and worried, can we see these challenges as interesting? It's all about perspective. How can we overcome these challenges? They're always going to come our way. There's nothing that you can do to stop challenges from coming your way. You can only change how you react to them. When you take a baby, a newborn baby, to the doctor, they always ask, is the baby playing? And they ask this question to measure if the baby's health is developing in the right way, at the right pace. They're trying to measure if the baby's brain is healthy. A baby that plays well is demonstrating that their brain is developing. Obviously, the way that we play changes as we age. For example, I play on YouTube. It's fun for me. It's my purpose. I can do it without anybody telling me that I have to do it. I wake up excited to do it. I feel like I'm playing. Um, Also, if you're a doctor, that's your form of play. If you love your job, you go in every day, you change people's lives. There's many different ways to play at many different ages. My friend, for example, she makes macrame for a living, and that's her form of play. There's different ways to play. Of course, we can play when we see our friends and we dance together, we eat together, we share stories, and we laugh. We enrich our lives through play. Life can and probably will throw incredible challenges at us, but how we handle it is all about our perspective. Can we have fun with it? Can we try to see it as a game? Can we try to see it as a game and a challenge that we will overcome and it's actually necessary to overcome to get to the next level? It's necessary for growth. It's all about the state that your mind is in, because the state of your mind shapes the state of your life. Play and creativity and fun has been removed from our culture. The last time that most people I know played was when they were children. It's so rare that I see adults playing and happy and fulfilled. And this even goes for young adults. They're stressed, they're working, they gotta get to their next thing. It's kind of that on the run energy. Play and creativity has been removed from our culture, and instead, we are left with a culture that promotes drudgery, hard work, suffering. You gotta put in your time. It's really hard to get there. And I don't think that should be the case. It's all about perspective. And I think we've been so conditioned from a very, very young age to see it, to see life as this necessary suffering. And I really don't think it has to be that way. And I also think that it is this mentality that has contributed to a depressed population. We live in a constant environment that normalizes suffering, normalizes hard work, which I do think hard work is important, but meaningful hard work. So that's kind of my take on it. I mean, I feel like it's not a surprise that people feel depressed when there's so much societal pressure to be this certain way that is actually not natural for us. Um, so obviously there are many reasons as to why we are depressed. I could probably do about 30 videos on this. This is just something that I think is really important to touch up on, because it's something that you can start doing every day. You can start to ask yourself the simple questions of, what are my values? What do I love to do? What could I do if I wasn't paid to do it? And start doing that stuff. You deserve it. You need to have fun in your life. It's the little things, and in the little daily habits, have some fun. And I think that can be much more effective than taking SSRIs that were prescribed on no grounded scientific research. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna head out for the day now. I appreciate all of you watching. If you haven't watched these other two on the screen, please go ahead and do so. Have an awesome week ahead, and I'll see you guys on Friday.